If you've tried sleeping in a cold room, the no caffeine afternoon, the blackout curtains, a consistent bedtime, and you're still lying awake at 2 a.m., this video is for you. Because here's the thing that nobody tells you about sleep hygiene. It is that it was never meant to solve the entire sleep quality question. I'm Masha. I'm the founder of Restful Sleep. I am a certified sleep coach, and for years I did everything right and I still didn't sleep. So I want to walk you through why that happens, because once you understand the actual mechanism behind it, a lot of the frustration goes away. So sleep hygiene is essentially a checklist. Dark room, cool temperature, no screens an hour before bed, consistent wake time, limiting caffeine and alcohol, no naps past 3 p.m. We all know the drill, but for a lot of people, that checklist does work. If your baseline is calm and your sleep issue is mostly habits and environment, cleaning those up is often enough. But if you've had trouble sleeping for months or years, sleep hygiene alone almost never gets you there. That's not because you're doing it wrong. It's because hygiene tips are solving a different problem than the one you actually might have. Sleep hygiene assumes that your nervous system is at rest and your environment is what's disrupting it. Take away the disruption and sleep comes back on its own. But if you're someone who lies down, body exhausted, mind still going, checking the clock, maybe running through tomorrow's checklist or to-do list, that's not an environment problem. That's a nervous system stuck in an alert state. Your body is still bracing like it's on guard duty, even though there's nothing to guard against. So picture a car at a red light, engine running, foot still on the gas. The car isn't going anywhere, but it's not resting either. It's burning fuel the whole time that it just sits there. And that's what a lot of insomnia actually is. It's not a lack of tiredness. A body that hasn't gotten the signal that it's safe to stop. That's what insomnia usually is. So none of the standard hygiene tips talk to that part of you. Blackout curtains don't tell you or your nervous system that it's safe. A consistent bedtime doesn't lower your baseline arousal. Cutting caffeine helps, but it doesn't undo months or years of your body learning that nighttime is when the thoughts show up, when the checking out happens, and when you're finally alone with everything that you maybe didn't process during the day. That is the piece that's usually missing. So sleep isn't just a behavior you perform correctly. It's a state your body has to be able to drop into. So you can't will your way into that state any more than you can force a muscle to relax by telling it to. So if you've ever laid there thinking, I'm doing everything right, why isn't this working? That's exactly why. You were maybe managing the room, the lighting, the temperature. You weren't managing the alertness living in your body. There's a trap that happens next, and I want to name it because almost everyone I work with falls into it. So once the checklist stops working, the instinct is to try harder, add more rules, get stricter about your routine. Lie there and maybe force yourself to relax. But trying to force relaxation is still a form of effort, an effort in its alert state activity. You end up more wired trying to calm down than you were before you started. And this exactly is why some of the most disciplined, hard-working people that I coach are also the worst sleepers. So the same drive that helps them succeed everywhere else works against them at night. So here's where the work shifts. So instead of asking, what am I doing wrong? The better question is, what is in my body still bracing for? And how do I teach it that it can stand down? So that's a mix of things that we work with. It's cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, which retrains the association between your bed and sleep, instead of the association between your bed and lying awake. It's somatic tools that we use in coaching, so ways of working with the body directly so your nervous system gets the message, not just your thinking mind. So a lot of the work that I do is not just cerebral, it's very physical and felt. And it's also understanding your own specific pattern, because a wired anxious system and an exhausted overloaded system need different things done to them. So none of this means that sleep hygiene is useless. So keeping the room dark and having a consistent wake up time, those things still help. But if you've done all of that and you're still not sleeping, stop assuming that the problem is your checklist. It's probably somewhere in your nervous system, and that's a different fix with different tools. So over the next few videos, I'm going to walk you through exactly what that looks like, starting with what cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, or CBT-I, actually is, and how it's different from everything you've likely already tried. If all of this describes what you're potentially going through, drop a comment and tell me where you get stuck. Is it falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up too early and not getting back? So I read all of the comments and it tells me what to cover next. And if you want a fuller breakdown along with the tools that I mentioned, there's a longer safe pace course as well as plenty of free resources in the growing community linked below. I'll see you in the next one.